everybody. Welcome to Straight Up Talk Boston. Tonight, our show, we got a great guest for you. Right here, one of the most incredible comics in the Boston area, as well as around the country. We have none other than, ready for this, author, artist, comedian, and a musician. This guy is like he's got it all together, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Paul D'Angelo.
Hey, what's up?
I'm telling you.
You see yourself, Paul? See?
That's nice.
Say hi, Paul.
Hi.
How you
This is
doing?
a great studio. I thought I had the wrong place, and I was looking around, and then I saw the two eye rocks, and I go, yeah, that's got to be it right there. I love the set. I love these chairs. Look at these chairs.
These actually, Billy, doesn't this remind you of the Patrick Bet-David chairs?
No, it looks like Star Wars meets Telos. That's what this means.
He thinks he's a comedian.
The good old days, huh, man?
Hi, Paul D'Angelo, comedian, author, attorney, musician, artist. What is it you do? Is there something you don't do?
Yeah, a lot of things I don't do.
Like what?
I don't.
You sing even. You actually do a little singing also.
Yeah. I saw you singing. I realized I saw you singing. I said it can't be that hard.
Well, notice when I said you do a little singing, very little.
He plays the harmonica.
Yeah. Well, we just did the Porch Fest
Playing the guitar.
right down the street, right on this street. We did the Porch Fest right from the Wakefield Light Department.
Come, but I was.
Oh yeah, you always got an
No,
excuse. Yeah.
Listen,
No.
you
We had a
wanna-
great time, and we finished literally 5 minutes before the torrential rain hit. We were putting all
And that came down.
Oh,
so
we
that-
put the
that
stuff.
was
We had to put
crazy.
all the equipment in the truck. We all looked like we jumped in the pool with our clothes on. It was crazy. Lightning was cracking.
I love that kind of weather, though. I don't know why.
I was
It's
going.
just
I was on my way to
majestic
the.
me.
Oh, I like it too. When I lived in LA, every day was beautiful, and they said, well, it was boring. Every
Yeah.
day was 80 degrees and sun. It's like I need a little variety, you know.
Yeah, no.
I love New England weather, and as you know, I don't. Billy knows I hate the heat.
I know he missed he wants it.
He's
like
talking
30,
about the police, Billy.
35
He's talking about the police. He hates the heat when they're on to him.
I cannot stand the hot weather. I love the chilly October, November weather. I love it. Don't you? You don't like the weather?
When the frost is on the pumpkin, then it's time for Dickie Duncan. When the weather's hot and sticky, that's no time to dunk your Dickie. A girl said, my ex-boyfriend used to recite poetry to me. It turns me on, and all I knew was like dice. I'm going hickory dickory dog. I don't know any.
I was watching a couple of his clips the other day. Can you imagine the stuff that he got away with back then? It's absolutely astonishing. And that's only, 35 years? Well, that's a long time.
First guy to fill state. Well, actually, Steve Martin was the first one that did like arenas. He did the King Tut thing. He was the first
I love
one,
that
but
stuff.
Dice was the first one that
Dice
filled
was-
those things
he
up.
was
Yeah.
he could never survive with that act today. I mean, it was brutal.
But you know what? Nobody took
it
everything
serious.
so seriously. You know,
know.
everything was he had a niche of people who loved him. There was a lot of people who didn't like him, but he had enough people like him to fill stadiums.
Well, the liberal women were protesting him back then in 88, 89, 90,
Yeah,
if you recall.
Go figure. And now they talk worse than we do.
Who's that?
Women.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Women. I mean, you get into a conversation with those with ladies these days, and let me tell you something, man. I can't even keep up with the filth that comes out of their mouths. And when they're together and there's no guy around, forget it.
When they're together, they're worse than men. Absolutely. Women will tell you that. They'll admit that to you.
It's horrifying
So.
how they are. It really is. But hey, whatever. You know, I think it's funny because the roles are reversed. It's no longer a man's world; it's a woman's world.
and some men who are women too.
This is true.
Hey, can I tell you guys? I've been seeing so many videos of transsexuals dominating women's softball. I said that's really not fair to the women, right? I said they should have a new league just for all the guys who identify as women to play softball. And I didn't know what they call a league, but pickleball would be a good. That would have been perfect.
But it's taken.
It's already taken. Too bad.
It's out of control. What do you think, Paul? What do you think is going on in the currently in the news? The suicide with this murder of this poor.
Oh, what thing? I mean, what thing? There's so many things going on.
The latest thing that's really gotten to me.
It's just getting out. Well, you got people on TV screaming, "We don't want to reduce crime. In
Chicago.
Meanwhile, like in Boston, the Mayor Wu there was a list of things that we're not going to prosecute these things. We're not going to prosecute shoplifting, none of this,
And they haven't
malicious
learned-
damage, everything, all the things I prosecuted when I was in a DA, right? And we're not going to. And then they say crime is down. Well, that's because you're not arresting anyone. And the ones you're arresting, you're letting them go. Crime's not down.
Now this-
Arrests are down. You
This
know,
particular guy, DiCarlo, in Charlotte, 14 arrests. And do you know who's the woman? The judge was. Her name was Teresa Stokes, I believe. I think I wrote it down. And I was wondering who appointed her. Now, Paul, you being a former DA, how does it work? The judicial system, is it all policies by appointed judges that were appointed by politicians?
in some states they elect the judges.
Oh, okay.
Here they
Appoint
the judges, and it's usually a political favor or something. But I know some magnificent judges. But you get when you do it that way. I used to say when I was a lawyer and I do shows in front of lawyers, I said there's 3 stages of the judges when you're a lawyer. When you're a new lawyer, you look up on the bench, and he's above you. He's got the black robe on. It's like a godlike figure, and you're intimidated. Wow, this the judge. Second stage is you get to know the guy. You go, he's like us. Hey, likes to have a beer, watch the football game. Third stage is how the hell did he become a judge? And when I say it to lawyer, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's the truth because you look at these guys and they present themselves as they're bigger than you.
This is what I got a problem is now lower court judges are putting roadblocks in front of a president's agenda.
No,
I mean, it's just like any little guys. He's in in Oregon or something, and he rules against something that's like a national
like
executive order or something.
They have no right to do
Yeah.
that. And now the new Supreme Court thing that came down yesterday, all these little courts are trying to override the Supreme Court. They're trying to block the Supreme Court. How do you do that?
They'll try. Yes.
Now, Billy,
All it is obstruction.
Could you look up? Could you find up, Billy? You have on the computer if this Teresa Stokes out of Charlotte, the one who let this guy go for the 14th time. Do you know? You could find out who appointed her.
Just Google it.
Oh, that's why I was asking you to do it.
You're asking me to do it? Okay. Well,
That's why I was going to say.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, when Patrick bet David, he always says there's a guy named Ronnie, and he takes care of all that stuff.
Billy, have your staff.
Yeah.
Your staff. Your staff.
More like half staff.
The staff. Yeah.
So what's up with you, Paulie? Anything new? What's up? What do you think?
Yeah, we just did this Porch Fest with my brother's band. That was a lot more work than showing up and telling jokes, I'll tell you. Breaking down carrying the heavy equipment, doing
they got
practice.
you doing that?
Well, yeah, they did, yeah.
Your brother. Now, what is how many pieces is the band?
One, like an account. The drummer, bass
Is it
player, my
Beverly-
brother, Paul.
Beverly Canone, is that her name?
Is that a Paul?
Is that what her name is? What was the name?
No, the woman's name is Teresa Stokes.
Teresa Stokes. Okay.
The one that she's the
Gotcha.
one that who released DeCarlos Brown Jr. for the 14th time. Can you imagine?
That's like an everyday occurrence now.
Yeah, but
Letting these guys out in the streets.
I've never been so disturbed.
There's no deterrence. There's no deterrent effect.
This poor girl sitting there minding her business, playing on her phone.
Left Ukraine because it was dangerous.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, the woman, the judge's name is Teresa Stokes. I'm trying to find out who appointed her, and we don't have to. It's not going to be tough to figure out. Anyways, getting back to the when Billy's ready with that information, we'll get back to that. Right, getting back to the band. How did it go on Porch Fest?
Oh, it was fun. It was
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Was it a big crowd?
Yeah, because we do it in the parking lot of the light department where my sister works,
Okay.
and one of the guys in the band's our opening act. He works there too, so we get that so we were able to fit hundreds of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise there were like 137 acts in like 60-something locations all around Wakefield. They
That
do it all
day?
over the place. Yeah.
Really?
We did it in Magnolia too, where my family we did it on our front porch.
How did
Magnolia.
how did that go in
It
Magnolia?
was great. It's great. We were just looking at the ocean, and of course we got the guy, the committee Karen comes down. He's got his bicycle, like Elmira Gulch, Oh, that sounds really good, guys, but it's going to be like half that. I go, oh, okay, so we made believe we're turning it
You
down a
just
little.
touch it. Oh,
Then he comes back a little later. Oh, that's wonderful, but
Yeah.
because Buffy St. Marie was like 3 doors down with no
Yeah.
microphone, and
I do
you
that all
can't,
the
you can't,
time.
you can't play Skinned, soft.
No. Whenever
so-
somebody does, can
But it
turn
was
the
great.
music down.
And my brother goes, I think he's upset. I go, he can't kick us. It's our porch.
Right.
You can't kick us off.
So Paul was with us the first time, a couple of times back in 2020 when we were doing the live on Facebook back then, and I remember the first time was at the place in Saugus. Then you came up to another location in East Boston, I believe.
Yeah,
So
I was there.
Thank you, Paul, for showing up.
Oh, I love you guys.
You
You can my 2 brothers here. I love you guys.
So at the end of the day, I'd like to discuss this. I mean, if this whole situation with this girl, the Ukrainian, it's got me really bothered. Has anybody?
You know what it is? It's symptomatic. It's happening a lot. Of people recidivists. They're letting them back on the street, and they just. When I was an assistant DA, 11 years, and a criminal defense attorney and stuff, in court you'd see a lot of the same people.
Even back then?
a large percent of the crime is committed by you see the same faces. Some of the worst crime, you see the same faces over
what do you
and
think
over
the
again.
answer
But
is,
if you
Paul?
let them back on the street, they're gonna
Why do they do that? When I'll get arrested for not showing up for jury duty.
You're asking me well, first of all, the judges, what you're supposed to be as a judge is you're supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be justice. It's not supposed to be advancing your agenda. So these judges are doing stuff because put people on the street, whether it's to foment chaos or it's just to put more people on the street that might cause havoc or something like
What do
that.
you think is the cause for something like this? Do you think it's drug induced? It's chemical imbalances? Or
I'll tell you one thing: they shouldn't have torn down the Danvers State Hospital because a lot of those. I mean, being not facetious, really. Like a lot of these people that are out there, they used to be institutionalized, and now
that was
now
Ronald
they're
Reagan.
walking the street. Look at you guys.
I'll give
We're
you that
running
one.
rampant out there, but seriously, what caused that? What initiated that? Do you remember?
What initiated
I
what?
remember the closing of all of
Ronald
the
Reagan.
mental-
Ronald Reagan.
It
Was that under Reagan?
Yes, it was.
It was under.
He
He's the one
closed a
who.
lot of them in California when he was a governor.
Well, because
and
they tried to emphasize like rehab and stuff like that, so they put them in these homes.
Now I don't
and-
know if he closed them down when he was the governor of California or when he became president. I know he definitely closed a lot of them down in California when he was the governor, and I'd have to look that up. And
They
Google
used to
it.
have a lot.
But-
They put like homes in communities and stuff like. My town had so many of those. Sometimes it looked like I was looking out the window. It looked like I was watching The Walking Dead. The guy was shuffling around and stuff like that. And I don't know
was
if that
this?
was. I don't want to say.
Oh, okay. You said your town.
Well,
It's like a town.
Every town,
Every
no matter
town.
what town you're in, there's always somebody who's either homeless. Obviously, you can tell they're homeless because they're dressed the way they're dressed. They don't get to eat like you get. Nobody's out there. Going to the store and buying them. They have nothing to put
in the old days, we used to take care of it. My friend, I had
Right.
4 divorced guys come to live with me.
See,
They
that's-
show up ding dong, and they got like a suitcase and a green plastic trash.
Like the Odd Couple.
With I got no place to go. I go, come on in, right? And then a year later, they go, thanks, Paul. And another guy's there with his suitcase. I got no place to
Come
go.
on.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
And
yeah,
a
I
lot
had
of
like
times
4 guys I had to take.
But they were friends, right?
Oh, yeah,
Tell the
yeah.
truth, they were friends. But for the most part, now everywhere you go, and they're not just homeless, they're like biblically crazy. Like like some of them look completely demon possessed.
Well,
some of them, they're really.
And they got nothing to lose. I mean, what are they going to
Exactly.
do?
So
Yeah.
wait-
If they put them in jail, probably at least they have a warm place to stay.
Well, that's the thing that's why I'm questioning why would they tear those places down? And of course, to make money. That's the only thing I can think of. Because
Well, I
they
think
ended
that
up
was
making
I think the whole
condos.
thing was trying to be more humane or something like by trying to have people be productive citizens or at least have a semblance of a life. But some of these, but they were really like again they release. Yeah, you can release some people when it's appropriate, but when you're releasing people who could be dangerous,
Well, that's
that's
the thing.
not
Who
a good idea.
evaluates that? And that's I mean, they're getting rid of the people that belonged in the padded room.
They're the same. But when guys come up for parole, they're supposed to have a life sentence, and all of a sudden they serve like 12 years for a murder or something like that, and they're let out. It's the same thing. Why is that any different?
Or you get an auto pen and get pardoned.
Yeah.
Now, Bo, when you were DA, did you feel
assistant DA? Yeah, there's one DA the whole county.
You worked for the DA's office. Did you feel that some of the judges were just too lenient? Some of them too lenient.
Well,
or even the other side.
Judges are like anybody else. They're individuals, and you know who are pro prosecution. You know who are the ones who really knew the law. Other people who were shady on it and stuff like that. And it's like anything. There's good ones, bad ones, and a lot in between.
Now, what made you turn to become a defense lawyer? Was it because of money?
No. I had a deposit to go to. They gave me a big going away party. I was supposed to move out to Hollywood, and a friend called me up. He says, "Hey, you want to do a show?" I says, "No." I says, "I'm getting ready. I'm moving to Hollywood in a few days, right?" And he says, "Yeah, but it's a big convention in Manchester, New Hampshire, and it's all what do you call them? Hairdressers." Mm-hmm. He says it's going to be all women except the only guys will be gay. You can have your pick. I go, "Oh, I'm there." Right? So I drive up to Manchester, New Hampshire. On the way home, I'm driving home. And back then, I was one of the first ones that had a cell phone because I was doing the 2 jobs. Yeah. And the phone rang, and I went to go get it. My car spun out, went in the median strip. Nobody saw me. I went back on the highway. But it was my friend calling me, Randy Chapman, who's now the first justice in Salem.
Really?
And he says, "Hey, I got 3 co-defendants. There's only 2 guys in my firm. Can you just fill in tomorrow to represent this guy just for the arraignment?" And he says, and they're going to dismiss it because he wasn't even there. It was out of town. I showed up at the court in Lowell. There were 100 cameras. It was a big case. And it took and I got stuck with this case for like a year and a half. In the meantime, I became a defense attorney by accident, and I was very successful. I never lost a trial or a motion. I would have eventually, but I did dozens of them and never lost.
How many years did you serve?
Well, it was probably like 4 or 5. And then I had a motor vehicle homicide case up in Gloucester, and everybody's crying. I'm the bad guy. I'm representing the defendant, and I'm going, I could be working on a cruise ship of Vegas, and that was it. It was so. I'm dealing with everybody's problems. Nobody came to me when they had a good day. So that was a catalyst that sent me to L. I said, okay, I got to get out, and I flew back and did like 3 or 4 trials I had to finish up here. But
were there days that you felt that you didn't want to do it because you didn't want to defend a guy or person that you thought?
No, I was friends with all the cops and everything, and I'm trying to make them look bad to win a case for this guy that's spit in his face. And I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. When I was a prosecutor, somebody was, he broke in a house, you killed somebody, I put him in jail. I did a good deed, Right. Now sometimes I did a really good thing as a defense lawyer, but there are times where I said, I don't know if I did the world a favor,
What do you think about the Karen Reed? We talked about that with John on a couple of rehearsals.
Oh, I thought there was it was about 3 dozen reasons to find reasonable doubt in that case. Oh. I mean, it was just, and it's, it's a travesty that they at great expense that they relitigated that thing because they're obviously covering somebody's ass. But I was really surprised. I thought before the second trial began that the feds would step in and maybe
they were bent on putting her in jail.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason they had to have that scapegoat without a doubt. But there was so much. I mean, when I watched afterwards, I saw the Alan Jackson going through the house and explaining different things. This is after the fact, when the other people owned the house. They let him in the house and they took him into the garage, took him through, brought him up the bulkhead, under complete cover, up the bulkhead. The back fence was 6 or 8 feet high, so you couldn't see anything. They're going to drag them out there. And the tree is right next to the gate where you go out to the front yard, and bang, there's the flagpole. As soon as you open the gate, there's the flagpole.
As a general rule of thumb, the people who are destroying cell phones and SIM cards are usually the people who've got something to hide.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, why would you go on an army base and take the SIM card out, throw it in one dumpster, smash your phone, throw it in another dumpster? I mean, come on. There was just way too much.
The dog.
The dog disappeared.
I mean, even and I thought incredibly damning is when you Google how long does it take a body to die in the cold, but then they brought in a forensic expert who was not convincing at all. I mean, that was such a convoluted
horrible.
excuse.
Did you watch the whole
I
trial,
can't
Paul?
imagine. Oh no,
I
I
did.
can't watch. I can't.
I watched I watched
get
some
enough.
of the
Like
first.
really watching the stories.
Yeah, it was like I know. It was like definitely it was like the
One Life to Live.
Yeah, as the stomach turns. Yeah, the fact that the first trial I watched some of, the second trial I was like.
Well, first of all,
zoomed
the
in.
first trial, typically when you give the jury a ballot slip, usually you can differentiate between the different charges. There were 3 charges against her, and they would have acquitted her on 2 of those charges, but they were only hung up on one of them. But they didn't have a means on that slip, on that ballot slip, that they could say not guilty on this, not guilty on this, but this one we're hung up on. So she actually got retried again, and they found it wasn't double jeopardy because it wasn't actually entered in, I guess, into the record. But I never saw that before, where they had one box. You had to find a check mark for all 3 of the above. I mean,
It made no sense.
No, it didn't.
Honestly, it made no sense.
Yeah,
and Higgins, Alan Jackson destroyed him. Everything he said. I mean, he.
Well, when you get shitty facts,
Yeah.
you're not going to look strong. I mean, you got to make stuff up.
He was in the area where they brought the car back to the police station, the Canton police station, and he's in there, and you could see that the state trooper was in there as well, and he spent too much time.
A long
in
time
there,
in there.
and then they flipped the video to make you think it was the wrong.
Oh, you can go on and
it
on
was
and
just
on.
it was so much.
The back tail light,
and then the stuff didn't show
dog.
up.
Didn't they do over the floor in the basement,
Yep.
like which had just been done or something?
they
never bothered to go inside the house,
Never.
ask any
And
questions.
he
There's
never
a million
came
things.
out. And he never came out.
A million.
This guy's a
million
first
things.
responder, and his friend is supposedly laying on the front grass, on the front yard, and you don't even come out to see what's going on. Come on. And there's no video cameras in the area that show.
That'll be a Lifetime movie.
It's
for sure.
without. Well, there's already a movie being done. I forget the girl's name. Real pretty blonde girl's playing Karen Reed. That's a mistake, but Karen Reed, she's okay. But the girl that they got playing her is beautiful.
Yeah.
That just doesn't. If you're gonna do it, you got to get somebody like this with the lips.
Yeah.
On another note, I can't get this case out of my mind. I'm just reading something here. When George Floyd was killed, they have a statue of him in the middle of Minneapolis, or Minnesota, whatever. A gold casket. $12 million his family received. Okay? They burnt the country down at the time. White girl from Ukraine, not a word from the media. Nothing. Now, what do you...
They're consistent. What do you? Are you
but
surprised? Are you surprised?
No,
it
but
doesn't
it's-
fit their agenda.
it's sickening.
If you're politically driven,
Yeah.
you're going to put the stuff on that advances your
But
agenda.
how do you stop
and
this,
doesn't-
Paul? How do you stop this? This is an outrage. That could be a family member.
You know what? People are getting smarter, but the people who just listen, when you talk to someone, you can't talk on the issues on the thing because they don't have any moral high ground on the issues or better options. So all they can do is attack and obstruct and get in the way. So. And if they don't like it, they yell or call you a slur or something like that. I mean, but you used to be able to have. I won't talk to someone who raises their voice. I go, if you can't create an argument in a normal voice, then you don't. Then you're not gonna. You don't win the argument because you're louder than I am. So
it just burns.
But those are the tactics when you don't like Bill. Like we were talking about the camera with the prosecutor. Yeah, they did a lousy job because they got nothing to work with.
Right.
It's trying. It's you put some ugly girl in the Miss America con. You can only put on so much makeup and a nice dress. I mean, you got to have the facts.
Yeah.
So
can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So funny though. I mean, everything that came up in that trial.
Put a shine on a sneaker.
Yeah.
My father used
It's the truth, though. It's like I said. You look at everything that came up in that. They swore up and down that he was hit by the car, but there's no bruising, no broken bones.
Their own expert
2 ton. So 2
said he
ton
wasn't
vehicle.
hit by the car. First of all, there's the end of the case right there. Nobody
Yeah.
said that they could prove he was hit by the vehicle.
Right.
There's your case right there. That's the way apparently she killed him, was by hitting him with the vehicle. Well,
Now,
if you can't,
I want to know the other thing I wanted to know. Maybe you can shed some light on this. How can they charge her with DUI when they didn't test her on the spot?
honest, I plead ignorance because I don't know I don't know if they gave her a breath test or on
They
their
didn't-
on their
They
observations
did
or
it.
something
They
like
did
that.
it after the fact. They did it after
Yeah,
the
well,
fact.
it had to be you either if you're judged with driving under, you either has to have a breathalyzer or it's got to be your observations, or that person's actions, or whatever the sobriety test or something like that. So I mean, I think at that point, you know what,
they wanted to
could
get her on
they
something.
could have, you know what, at that point they could have tried that driving under case. I would have taken that case in a second. That driving under case, but at that point it's like let's get this thing.
Yeah, they convicted her on
Yeah, but if
driving
they
under.
had, if they wanted to drag this thing up, she didn't want it. She's been in court for 3 years. They want to drag it out.
She's not done because she's still got the civil
Well,
case.
yeah, but the criminal case, they go,
Yeah.
hey, let's just plead out to this and let's put this behind you.
What I don't understand
You
is
know?
why would you even bring a civil case when he
she-
wasn't hit by a car?
What's she going to be
Well,
liable for?
she's not. How could she be liable for that? She can't.
You
be.
know
But-
what I mean?
But she has
What's she going to be
other
liable?
people were named
what
in
is
that
she gonna
suit.
be liable for? Millions of dollars? She
that's
doesn't
what-
have it.
Well, she's
you
gonna,
got to be
like you said,
culpable.
with all the movies.
You have to
and
have
all
a
the-
causal connection. You have to be culpable, and if she's not culpable, if there was no proof that he was ever killed by a car hitting him, then
She might lose
what's her role?
the civil case.
How?
She could, I'm saying.
But how? Because they found that all the evidence
They see it
shows
the
that she
same Trump,
did it.
the Trump jury in
Yeah.
New York. That's how.
Yeah.
OJ's jury. I mean, we mean how?
Yeah,
How?
yeah, true.
I used to say sometimes people are dumb individually, but when you put them in a jury room, they get really dumb because all of a sudden
it's crazy.
they're talking about things that weren't even at issue. Not always,
Yeah,
you
but
know.
Paul,
The
don't
juries,
you think
for the
that
most
they-
part, do a
don't
good
you
job, but sometimes they come back with a baffling.
Don't you think a lot of jurors get
results.
approached with deals, side deals? Jurors.
Not supposed to, but
Not
yeah,
supposed to.
but it's reality, you know.
There was a
On the Diddy thing, you don't think they didn't get to some of those people?
God.
Oh, come on. They had.
Absolutely.
There's no.
course.
I mean,
that in itself.
it's too powerful, man. You didn't.
That in itself, I mean, with everything that was said and with everything that was shown, I mean, they came up with some video footage.
So this is a jury. The same way these judges, who are lower court judges, are trying to make law because they're trying to thwart the president's plan. The same way that a jury sometimes can get together and, okay, the judge told us to follow this law, but we're gonna have our own, like, annul this verdict because we're gonna not apply. We're gonna apply a moral code instead of like
Well, that's what I said to when we first talked about the Diddy case. I mean, when we were talking with Dunkin' Donuts or wherever we were talking, and I said to him, I said, this is all going to come down to jury selection. The Diddy case is going to all come down to jury selection, and I don't believe they're going to find him guilty. They found them on something. I forget what it was, but you know what I really believe? I believe that they did that raid on both of those houses to collect all that evidence.
Very, very possible.
To
Very
collect
possible.
all that evidence, so they can
Now they
lock
can hold it over
away.
other people's head.
Well, either that or
Or like
lock
the
it away.
Epstein thing, they could hold.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could be holding a lot of. I love it when they try to bring Trump in. You don't think that's the first thing they would have brought up if there was.
The Democrats would have ate his lunch.
And
for
they
the
knew
last 4
they knew who
years.
was on the island because they were the ones who were on the island.
Exactly.
And if he had any connection to that, that would have been the first thing. Would have derailed everything.
But why did Trump say it's a hoax? That's what bothered me.
What's a hoax?
Didn't you hear him saying this is a hoax, the Epstein case?
Not
Meaning
the
the
Hicks.
whole thing was-
No,
Yeah,
the
he
hoax
said that
that
the
he was
Epstein-
involved on, doing some, something
he was
criminal
involved
on the
in it.
island. Yeah,
That
yeah,
he was
he knew
involved
who
in it.
the
It was
guy,
a
but
hoax.
just because he knew
But
everybody.
the whole thing in itself, I mean, the princes and all these things. I mean, that thing that what's his name again? Something David.
Patrick David.
Patrick Bet David. He did this whole thing on his podcast. It didn't even look like a podcast. It was a documentary, a TV show, and he did a spectacular job. This guy owned a ranch in Mexico that was 16 or 18 acres. Epstein.
Oh yeah.
Epstein. He had, and this mansion that was it was the biggest thing in Mexico.
How did he get that rich?
Right, and then he got the island. The island was, I forget, $62 million.
Wasn't it already confirmed that he worked for the CIA or Mossad?
Now that's the whole thing that they're trying to say.
No,
that he was untouchable.
Speculated.
He was
anyway.
untouchable, and that's why they didn't touch him. And he had planes, boats, helicopters, mansions, islands. He had everything. The guy had everything and millions of dollars.
Billions.
But they're saying, well, I'm sure, but and so that's what they're saying. He was untouchable because he was a CIA agent.
If I was younger, I would never believe some of the stuff I believe now. I would say, oh wow, well you turned crazy when you go to. Like stuff like the assassination attempt. Tell me that wasn't an inside job.
Oh,
I mean, Jesus Christ!
Who knew it was a last minute?
It looked like
golf
the Keystone
game.
Cops trying to protect him at the thing. They sent the worst of the worst over there. That was. I'll tell you the thing that was really convincing to me is what he had. I forget the number. The vast number of rallies he had that year. 80, 100. I don't remember the number. That was the only one they televised live.
Right.
Why?
All the stations.
Why? Why? That some little shitty place. It wasn't like Madison Square Garden. It wasn't Vegas. Something. It was this little. Why this? Hey, come down and see what something's going to happen.
There's people, including Bill O'Reilly, who I love, still believes that Harvey Oswald is the sole killer of JFK.
That is such a joke.
Because these are all these things that you can always find a doubt or something like that or some reason not to.
Come on, this common sense. How could anybody believe?
I'm reading a bunch of things lately, many years later, about 9/11, about this building that comes down, and a lot of things don't make sense, man. And when I was young, I go, no, nobody. You know what? My favorite movie,
7.
The Godfather.
Yeah.
And Kay says. And he says, they're like senators and businessmen. And, Michael, senators don't have people killed. He goes, who's being naive now? Right. Okay, right. But I mean,
Well, if you realize back in 9/11, when 9/11, two people that we thought were insane was Michael Moore and Rosie O'Donnell. Those were the only two people that said it was a conspiracy and it was an inside job. I laughed at it. I said, what are you, crazy? Now you're right, Paul. I'm starting to think.
You don't want to believe that.
I'm starting to think it's impossible.
You start saying things, but that's the way everybody should come to conclusions, is by listening to all the stories and kind of, not just what these people do. They just parrot what they're told. They just squawk. Trump's a racist. Well, tell me something he's done that's racist. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, right? Fascist. Well, do you know what a fascist is? Well, not really, but he is one. Yeah. And there's slogans, little things they can repeat that they just parrot without knowing really what they're talking about or forming their own conclusion.
With all this horror going on with these women, another woman got slashed too in Alabama, a retired professor. Another black and white crime, and nobody's saying a word about that one either. But the one that in Charlotte, everybody's talking about right now, with all this going on, you see people on the internet put the felon. I mean, come on, give it a rest. Pick something else to pick on. Come up with some ideas, There's no solutions. It's bash. It's getting nauseating.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's absolutely nauseating that they pulled that crap.
Every day.
They're trying to sidestep the fact that, he just did the concealed carry reciprocity.
Yeah.
So it's nationwide now that you can have a concealed carry gun.
They passed that?
He passed it. So no matter where you
are,
are,
carry, Paul?
He signed it. He signed it into law the other day.
Do you carry?
Not most.
Yeah, but. The issue is that.
But I got my permit. If somebody robs me, I'll find you.
I'll find you. Yeah. But so
whip out the permit.
My point is now. So now he signed that into law, everybody's telling like you're doing it yourself. You said, ladies, get your permit to carry. I tell that to all my kids.
Better to have it, not need it, than
That's
to
right.
need it, and not have it.
My kids have it. I'm trying to get Christina to get one. I know my ex has one. But
you carry regularly.
I carry regularly. Yeah, absolutely.
Ex says, somebody one time he says your ex has a gun, right? My car got keyed. I don't know, in a parking lot or something. Maybe I'm at a show or something. Somebody took a key across my last car, across the side. So I call the insurance company. They send down the adjuster. He goes, what happened? I go, I came out. I noticed that somebody had keyed my car. Where did it happen? I said, I don't know, but it must have happened the last couple of days. I hadn't been on this side of the car. He said, well, could it be someone you know who did this? I go, what do you mean? He goes, an angry ex-girlfriend maybe? I said, absolutely not. He said, how can you be so sure? I said, there'd be way more damage, and the word asshole would be on the door somewhere. Right? He goes, yeah, you got a good point.
That's a great point.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but no, it's very important. I think everybody should be carrying, at least taking a course, especially females. This is a brutal thing going on right now. It's like attacking on white women everywhere.
I agree, and
it's
this is the thing. This is the thing that gets me and I tell people to get your permit but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're all talking about take the guns away. What are you going to do now? You're going to take away silverware? You're going to take away steak knives? What are you going to take away?
They're talking about that's where Britain's gone. And Britain's like overrun now. They took all the guns away, and then people get stabbed, and they're making laws against certain knives.
Come on.
No, really. So
listen,
you'll find a way to kill somebody
if you want to get exactly. If you, I got butcher knives, I got steak knives, I got boning knives. No matter what, they all cut. They all cause the same damage. What are you going to do?
Here's my one thing. I sum up the whole gun issue. We go, we want to do this, that. Tell me what you're doing to take the guns out of the bad people.
You can't.
Out of the hands of the bad people. Because the only people you punish, you can make all the strictest gun laws, and in fact, most of the gun crime happens in the cities and states with the most stringent gun laws.
Right.
And until you can tell me what you're going to do to take the guns away from the bad people, if you're just disarming, decent people, that's a recipe for disaster.
And that's what they do all the time. That's their whole thing is take the guns away from the people. They're afraid that we're going to turn against them.
Only good people are going to comply.
The good people are going to comply. They're going to give back their guns, right? The real, idiots are going to give back.
Now you see what they're doing in Britain now? The chief comes on, or whoever, I forget who the guy, some big hotshot called and told people, like, if somebody breaks into your house, just let them take whatever you want. Don't resist. Okay. Don't do anything. And he comes. That's what it's come to in England. England's too far gone now.
No, whatever he wants happens to be my wife or my girlfriend or your wife or your girlfriend, your daughter? What if that's what he wants? You're going to let him take it? I don't think so. I'm sorry.
Governor King back in the late 70s passed a law when he was. Remember Governor King?
Of course.
Ed King?
Yeah.
He passed a law that you were allowed to shoot. He was a Republican, to shoot and kill. And I think Dukakis rescinded the order.
They made a law. The law states now in Massachusetts that if they are in your inner sanctum, so if they're in your bedroom, you're in your bedroom, and they come into your inner sanctum and you have no way out, you can pull the trigger. Okay?
Which is insane.
But if you have an ability
to get
out and leave your house, then that's what they're
so they want you to do.
So what you should do is leave your house, look in the window, and shoot him from outside.
Yeah. While he's raping your daughter. I mean, it's out of control.
See, that's the thing is they've made what the Constitution used to be this thick. Now it's this thick. It's like, have you ever seen all the new things that they've put in the addendums and amendments and all the crap that they put in it? It's insanity. Nobody goes by the original Constitution anymore. They just they're constantly making up their own crap to suit their own agenda, and that's all there is to it.
What do you think about this Kraft guy? You any information on this guy's running for mayor of Boston? Josh Kraft?
I got to be honest with you. No, he's probably just marginally better than Wu. To be honest with you, he's
Yeah,
no
he's still-
prize.
yeah,
he's no
he's still
prize
a-
either.
He's still a liberal.
No, he's no prize either. But
State of
she's a
Massachusetts.
nightmare.
Well, I mean, ICE is in town. You know, they're in Boston. They were in Revere today. Actually,
I was at a restaurant the other day. I asked the waiter for ice, and 3 guys ran out the back door.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this, but this story's got me really disturbed for the last 3 days. I've been.
Well,
I don't blame her. It's
I've been
disturbing.
bothered
It's a
by this.
disturbing
It could be my
story.
daughter. Billy got 4 daughters. I mean, I got 1. I mean, this hits home.
What's
a little
more,
bit.
the most infuriating thing is, first of all, that he's a habitual criminal. He keeps committing crimes and keeps getting let out. And like I said, it's always an identifiable percentage of these people that commit a lot of these
One of the
crimes. The other
Republican-
thing is just listening to people, almost trying to defend him or make excuses, and always making excuses and not even caring about the person who's.
The woman was riding on a train. She was on a train. He came up, sliced her throat,
Jesus.
stabbed her so many times it was ridiculous.
butchered
And he stayed there. And he's riding the train and he's walking around the train. He's got blood all over him,
Nobody
blood
did
all
nothing.
over
And
his
he's
shoes.
muttering over and over again, I got that white woman. And then they said it's not a racial thing. But they said he kept repeating, I got that white woman or something to that effect.
I know.
And it's like,
I-
until we actually,
Did they get do they have him in custody?
Oh yeah.
They have, because
His own mother was begging the authorities to take him into a home because he beat up the sister. He was psychiatrically, he had psychiatric problems.
Again, every time it seems like every time you turn around, it's mental illness. Back to the crazy houses again. The mental institutions.
Now, Paul, can they file charges against judges that repeatedly let these people out? Can't they be liable for something?
you know what?
They should be.
Well, they try to maybe use it as a way to remove someone from the bench or something like that, whether they're liable criminally or civilly. I don't. That's a tough one.
When a
How would
life
you
is
feel?
taken, there should be somebody that holds them accountable.
Think about it, Bob. Billy,
If you let him out, and if he was a
That's
if
wait. Now
let
you're
him-
talking about mental. You want to talk about a big issue? Accountability,
Right.
responsibility.
right.
For yourself and everything like that. Responsibility meaning also, I mean, that covers a lot of ground. That covers like actually having a job and being a productive citizen and paying taxes and stuff instead of being on the tit all the time, but it also accountable. That's the big thing with me is like is seeing people who are just obviously and blatantly responsible for things and no accountability, no
None.
punishment. No, anything, and that's what kills me being in the justice system for so long. Is like this what they call two-tier justice. It's the 2 different sets of rules for different people.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not something that I want to.
But if a
Kids-
judge lets somebody out, and God forbid killed somebody, one of your family members, what are you going to want to do to that judge that allowed this animal to come out in the streets? This is my point. Why can't they be accountable?
But this is what I'm talking about: accountability. Not having accountability to let somebody out who's been arrested 14 times out in the street, and is the same, and not being held accountable on a much different level, but the same principle is a senator who makes $175,000 a year is all of a sudden worth $50-60 million.
Oh, absolutely.
But who's going to jail for this? I mean, I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I can see that the math doesn't add up.
Or like Bernie Sanders, that fucking windbag. So all he does is promote socialism. But why don't they ask him how many capitalist companies he takes money from?
Because everybody wants to be a communist and a socialist. They think they're going to be in the ruling party. I'm going to be. Everybody's going to look up to me and everything. And they're the ones that get trampled on.
And
in
what
the end.
He never had a job in his life, Bernie Sanders.
What
in
they
his
don't
life.
realize though is
He makes
you
good
just
chicken
said-
though.
You just say he makes good chicken. Yeah, but what they don't realize is that everybody's going to get their little stipend, and the elite are going to have their money, and nobody's going to have anything. You're going to own nothing and be
That's
happy.
where it's going. But what
That's,
I don't understand,
buddy, it's fast
it's
track.
fast tracking. But what aggravates me right now is the voter, not the politician, Paul. We know the politician what they're all. It's the voter. How can you be so stupid?
Because they get a steady diet of propaganda or whatever. Like one
Don't they have a
particular.
brain?
No.
I mean, you got a guy. You're
No.
following an asshole like Bernie Sanders who's claiming socialism, but yet he takes money from capitalists. Where's the?
But look, every
the common
generation
sense?
has the bunch of socialists that think they're going to do it the right way. It's been done wrong, but we know how to do it, and every time it fails. But that's why. Why do you think they don't want to teach history in school? Because history does repeat itself.
Yeah.
So they don't want kids to know that, hey, socialism. They don't want to know that Mao killed millions of people or Stalin killed millions of people. They don't want people to know that because they'll, oh, geez, communism is not a good thing.
Well,
I
you
guess.
got the new generation following AOC right now. Okay, she's a socialist, right? She's worth $5-6 million. She's been in Congress, what, 3 years?
Because again, you got the ruling class and you got everybody else who's
That's fine,
taking it
but
up the ass.
where's the fucking brains on these people? Can't you see that they're hypocrites? They're telling you one thing, but they're taking the money from the capitalists. I just don't get it. You can't get through their head, Paul. It frustrates me. It really, you can't get through them. You can't penetrate their head. And I'm talking about people our own age, in our age bracket. They don't listen. You can't, like you said, Paul. You'll just waste your breath, and you'll have a nervous breakdown trying to win a point with them. It's like hee haw, hee haw, hee haw. It's like a donkey just yelling at you.
Oh, I thought you were singing.
I gotta get views for this.
It was getting too serious. It was getting too serious. I do it every my buddy Doogie took up the guitar.
Did he call those places, by the way?
Oh, we'll talk about that. But 79 took up the guitar, and I had to listen to him. And now he does a good job. He
old
writes
is he
some
now?
86.
Imagine.
So he's learned the guitar at 79. So he's playing a song. I go, what's that song? He goes, good friend of mine died. He said this was his favorite Merle Haggard song. I'm learning it because I want to play it for his widow and his children. I said, don't you think they've suffered enough? I also told him, I said, somebody told me Taps was the saddest song they ever heard. I said, you never heard Doogie sing? But that's what we do. We bust each other's balls, and there's no animosity. We'll go, hey, that's a good one.
Remember last year? Was it last year we went up at Magnolia and he took off because he was pissed off?
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys coming? Those
I'll be
guys,
there.
days, yeah.
I got it written down.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely
Good.
will be there, sir.
23rd.
Yeah, I got it written down.
Couple times a
Absolutely.
year, I have a gathering of sometimes 20 to 40 guys, all interested, like you guys, talented, interesting, accomplished, funny. Everybody gets together.
I've been coming up over 10 years.
Yeah.
Now. I think 14 was my first year.
And people
13.
say no,
Funny.
no.
What's so funny about
Funny
me?
how? Hey.
Funny how?
If people say no women, I go,
usually wouldn't.
I go. You have one woman there. It's like peeing in the pool.
Oh, it's
But it's
worse.
not. It doesn't. Nothing's said there that would offend a woman or anything. But it's just like everyone's like a
As
little bit
soon
more
as
uptight
it-
because they got to be careful.
Remember we went
and
one
it's
year?
just a different atmosphere.
That one year, I'll never forget it. We was
Oh, yeah, guy walked in with
this
his-
guy walks in with his girlfriend. The place.
Yeah. It was like
It was just the atmosphere
What was
completely
this, last
changed.
year? 2 years?
no.
No,
it
this
was a
was
while,
like-
long
this is a
time.
while,
He walked in with the
while.
girl, and the whole place was like an E.F. Hutton commercial. Remember when everyone went
Everybody
silent?
looked,
Yeah.
oh,
wait.
female,
How
the
many,
girl.
how many years have you been doing this, Paul, with the Magnolia?
Oh, I don't even know.
Because I think
I
my
don't even
first
know.
year was 2014 or 13 or
Oh,
14.
yeah, quite a while. But it's a great, when guys make connections. Hey, so-and-so from Stone, I was this, and we got retired detectives there, police chiefs, singers, magicians, comedians, musicians,
Actually,
bar
now,
owners.
I'm looking back. I think it was longer than that because I was there with Billy. Was on the
Oh, it's
grill
been a
one
long
year,
time, yeah.
and that was going to
Billy's Meatballs.
yeah, but that was
The,
like
the disappearing meatballs.
there was
Yeah.
one-
I
there
mean,
was-
5
The
pounds of
disappearing
meatballs.
meatball check. Meanwhile, Billy's got sauce all on his mouth. I don't know what happened to all the meatballs, Paul. He's got red lips.
There was one year that we were watching. Everybody left, and we stuck around, and we were watching the debate between Paul Ryan and Joe Biden.
You remember that?
That was 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, we got pictures to go back.
We went back.
yeah.
So and I remember there was a year or two before that. So I've probably been coming.
I've known
to-
you guys since how many years? 35 years,
I've
probably.
I
Yeah,
met you
35
in,
easy.
Well, I met you in '94 with with Fab and your
Yeah.
old girlfriend.
Yeah.
I met you before that.
Oh, Billy had
Before
that.
94?
Billy had the best karaoke at the Wayloose up
at
on the hill there.
Wayloose, yeah.
Now it's like Planet of the Apes. Now it's like
Oh.
it's just all grown over.
Yeah.
Nothing there. But
Nothing.
I used to come home from Nick's in Boston when I had my show in the theater district for years.
The building is
and
still-
Thursday
is gone.
night, and I used to
Yeah,
go
we
in.
knocked
Billy
it down.
had
was a
you had a
good
couple
show.
hundred people every night.
Every night.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah,
night. That
those
was a
were the
lot
days.
of fun. That was a lot
My
of
friend
fun.
Mitch, well, I was single, and we did a show in Boston one time. This is years back. He goes, "Hey, you're single. Let's go meet some girls." I go, "Okay." So Mitch is from Buffalo, you know. Where are we going? He goes, "See that over there? Yeah, that used to be the Palace." Well, let's go. No, that's not there anymore. Right? And next to that was the Vogue. If you went, no, that's not there either. Well, over here, that was the Blue Star. If you want country music, meet some girls lying there. No, that's not there anymore either. Wayloose, no, Wayloose is closed.
is closed.
Anyways, this was John Martin's Manor. What's there now? It's a fabric store. No, what's there? Was
Yeah.
every place
Now
you
the
could go
Continent-
one thing.
Now the Continental's
Continental's
gone.
Yeah.
And what I don't know what they're doing behind the Continental.
Yeah,
They
they're building
cleared-
just
something
noticed
out
that
there.
today.
They cleared it all out. I don't know if they're going to build more condos because that's what he originally wanted to build.
Is this supposed
And
to be
I
a
thought
Brazilian restaurant?
the Brazilian restaurant's going to be in the front. A Brazilian steakhouse.
Do you ever
is
go to
gonna
a
be in
Brazilian
front.
restaurant?
Yeah,
I went. Yeah,
I enjoyed.
I went
it.
in there, and the friend says, "What are you gonna get?" I says, "When
Brazilian.
in Brazil, I'm gonna do as the Brazilians do." So he said, "What?" I said, "I'm going full Brazilian." So he come over. He said, "What do you? I would like the shaved steak with the waxed beans. Can I have a peach salad? Hold the fuzz." He said, "You want something to drink with that? It's a smoothie."
That's great stuff. That's cool.
I keep adding food. I got all the
Food
food.
jokes.
Most of the food's covered here.
What's your weekend look like, Paul? You know,
I got. Actually, I'm doing a show tomorrow night. I'm donating my time as well as one of my dearest, closest friend, Mitch Stinson, a former Navy pilot, and Joe Espy, and we are donating our time for mass. I forget what it's called. Fair elections. And it's trying to get election integrity. So we're trying to raise money at the
When is that?
Where
at
is
the
it?
Crystal Community Club in Wakefield tomorrow night, Wednesday,
Really?
the 10th. And then I'm in the Worcester area on Friday night at a great club, Samuel Slater's. Saturday night I'm at the Cut in Gloucester. Great theater up there.
With Paul Gilligan.
Yeah, with Paul, who's a good friend of mine, and,
That's Saturday
and
night?
extremely funny.
Yeah.
Saturday night, and then I think I'm at Giggles the week after.
So you're pretty booked up.
Yeah, I'm busy.
You always
now.
are, though,
Busy,
Paul.
yeah.
Hey,
I turn down shows. I'm trying to cut down a little bit. I haven't been traveling as much. My mom's old, the dog's old. So
How was your mother,
stick-
by the way?
92. 92 years old.
Imagine
Still
90.
afraid of her. 4'0". She's shrinking faster than a concert T-shirt in the clothes dryer. I'm gonna go. She gets every time I go over there, she's getting smaller. One day it's just gonna be a puddle in a broomstick. I'm like, Mama, where'd you go?
Yeah.
Do you know his mom, Billy?
Oh yes, yes, I do.
Oh, what a cook she
Uh,
was!
it's-
It was like the
she-
North End every night.
The,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the thing you did with the car seat. That,
Oh,
that
yeah.
bit
No,
is hysterical.
Yeah, put it in the car. You got to be 4'9" to be in a car seat.
There was a funny story when remember you and I did the Stoneham Theater one night, and Paul goes, "Mom, what'd you think of the show?" He goes, "Well, that Joey can sing."
Yeah, of course.
Paul says, "Well, yeah, but what'd you think of my sing? What a voice from that Joey."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the truth.
We
That's the
made
truth.
money that night, though, Paul. We didn't.
You know, my parents saw the first night at my first open mic
What?
ever. Somebody told them about it. They went to the Stitches in Boston on Calm Ave. My first night, same night, Louis C.K. Same night. We both
Really?
debuted on Stitches on Calm. You know what my
Wow.
mother said? You know her words of encouragement? "I'm glad you got that out of your system." 40 years
Unbelievable.
later.
That's classic.
Yeah,
Imagine.
classic.
Now, Paul, did you know Joe Rogan who was coming up?
Yeah, we worked together a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah.
He doesn't forget where he's from. I like that.
Yeah.
He talks about Boston all the time. On
Bill
his
Burr, I got a picture of me and Bill Burr. He looks like he's 14 years old. He still had hair, everything. He looked like a kid.
Where'd you work with him up in?
Oh, we used to work all the time
Was
together.
he at Giggles a lot?
I don't remember if it was at Giggles, but back in
Yeah.
those days there was clubs everywhere.
There were comedy clubs in Boston.
everywhere. Every
There was-
Chinese restaurant, rib place.
Yeah, yeah,
You name it, pizza place. They had,
yeah. I remember that.
What about Nick DiPaolo? Did you work with him?
Oh, of course. And Nicky's from Danvers. Yeah. And Nicky's one of my favorite comics. He's a great comic.
He's dark though. He has some dark.
Yes,
comedy.
he does. But you know what I like about Nicky? He says stuff that I
he
might
don't
think,
give a-
but I would never say.
He don't give a shit.
See, I don't. I try to walk the line. I want to
Yeah.
be edgy, but not so much
No,
that I
did you ever hear
turn people off.
Did you ever Nick
Yeah.
DiPaolo, Billy?
I have never heard.
Oh,
Nick.
Oh, no.
No,
he
never heard
just don't.
Nicky.
Nothing is off limits.
Right.
He's worse than Dice. If you
Really?
can
I
believe
don't.
that.
I don't know about that.
He's
yeah.
close.
No, but Nicky's very intelligent though. Nicky's,
no, I
Nicky's
think he's good, but I'm saying
really
he's-
a good comic.
Yeah, but he really nothing's off. He's offensive, very offensive.
So many. You think of all the people that came out of Boston. You know, John Panette
Oh,
and stuff.
he was
and,
wonderful.
Conan O'Brien.
Even Anthony Clark. Remember Anthony Clark?
Well, that's one
think
thing
that
about
there's
Joe
people-
Rogan. What I like about him, he constantly. I remember when I was selling the show with Mike Donovan. Now Rogan talks about Donovan a lot. He loves Mike Donovan, and so I like a guy that doesn't forget his roots. He never forgot where he's from. Dane Cook, I just never got. I never got his comedy at all. I didn't think he was that funny, but
Yeah.
he made it big.
Yeah. I used to put Dane on my shows. I try to help him out a lot when I was at my show at Nick's and stuff like that. I gave him priority because he was so good, You
thought he was that
and
good?
stuff.
stand-up?
Well, at the time, yeah, he was very popular and stuff. I'd put him on and stuff like that. And then I asked him to write a paragraph to help me get my
Forward.
book. Yeah, you remember that? I would have get
do.
my book published with the publisher said if you can get him to, and nothing.
Now is it
Not-
true Rogan?
nothing.
Rogan didn't. They wouldn't put him on Giggles. He was too vulgar.
Yeah, Joe's edgy. He's edgy. Yeah, I don't know if that's
Do you
true
know the
or
story
not.
about Nick DiPaolo when he had a fight at with somebody?
Oh,
at
he's
the,
had a fight a few times. yeah. I know which
like
one.
somebody. He actually offended somebody in the audience. Johnny.
I think it was a pregnant woman.
Yes.
Yeah,
And he said
I
something about derogatory about the baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
so you're not going to tell me he's not as bad as Dice and worse. I think he
Yeah.
is. My opinion, I think he's worse than Dice because Dice was racist comedy. This guy is racist plus.
Oh, I don't. You listen. He's Nick's.
No,
very
he's
intelligent.
good. He's
He
very-
walks the edge, but Nick's a smart comic.
I don't think I kind of disagree with that, Paul. I think he's very offensive, not to me, but I think the average. I love watching him, but
Like this is the
average
thing, and I
person-
help a lot of comedians who are starting out. I said, first of all, I ask. I have a new thing now. The first thing I ask him is,
Right.
"What are you trying to accomplish?"
Right.
Because I would try to like impose my values on somebody. I tried to help some of my friends. I go, I was doing all the work. I go, oh, you're not taking this as seriously as I am. You're not as committed. I said, do you? So I tell him, first of all, are you just trying to get out of the house because your wife's driving you crazy?
Right.
Are you just trying to get something? Or do you want to play like Carnegie Hall? You want an HBO special? What do you want to? And then I say, and they say, well, should it be dirty, clean, offensive, or anything like that? And I said, you know what? If you're offensive and you're good, you're going to attract enough people that you're going to have a great career and everything. You don't have to. All you can make my decision is I'm not trying to alienate really anyone. I want to, if I can get my message across and still not alienate anyone. I don't want to. Not relate to a whole big segment of the audience. So I try to do things. But if you're someone like Dice, like you're talking about Dice before, he had a fanatic following. There was probably a lot more people who didn't like him than liked him, but he had enough people he could fill up stadiums.
Right.
So
huge,
I mean,
yeah.
so you make that decision. Do you want to be this type of comic or that type of
Well,
comic?
DiPaolo's not filling up stadiums.
Well, who is now? I
No.
mean, well, some people maybe, but yeah.
You in touch with him at all, Nick? Because I watch him. I follow.
I used to be in touch with Nick from time to time. In fact, I ran into a guy up in Gloucester who he went to college with Nick, and I took a picture and sent it to Nick, and I don't think I heard back from him.
How about Bobby Kelly? How's he doing out in New York?
I haven't seen Bobby for ages. So, in fact, somebody came to my show who was
did
related
well.
to Bobby or something. I
There's a
forget
lot
if it was his
yeah,
parents
right, Paul.
or
There's
something.
a lot of Boston comics that did well. Incredible. Anyway,
There are, but you know something? There aren't too many that are Italian that have done really well.
No.
well, you,
Think of.
Well, look, we're doing that La Familia show at
Okay.
the Lynn Auditorium. Frank Santarelli,
Yeah.
Adi
putting that
Giannuario,
together? Chris
Dave
Flaherty?
Russo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flaherty?
Yeah.
Dave Russo. I don't know if Dave's on it this year.
Who's he got
But-
singing for him? The Sinatra guy?
Where's that again?
Oh, I don't know.
Where is that
He
going to
has
be?
Lynn Auditorium.
Lynn Auditorium,
Sometime
yeah.
in I think October. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done that 3 years, but I mean, there's some Italians there, and
Yep.
No, but I'm talking about the ones who fill up stadiums.
I used to love Pat Cooper.
Pasquale
He was,
Caputo.
yeah, he was.
But notice he changed
was
his name
fun.
to Cooper.
Yeah, well,
And he never went below the belt either.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but every time my father touched his belt, my mother was expecting. That's as dirty as he got.
But I saw
He
him.
was
I
funny.
was at the Las Vegas Comedy Festival featuring up there, and he went up there and roasted some of the people on there. He was relentless. Though he killed me laughing.
Like a Rickles.
When he was
He got them good.
when he was on doing TV or doing something like a recording or something
Yeah.
like that, he didn't go below the belt. But when he was live, if you went to a club and he was live, he didn't.
And you asked
he
like
didn't pull
what
any punches.
you know you want to be doing. He has a following, and Red Fox has a following. Red Fox, if you remember, was filthy, I guess, when he was on stage. So I mean, you'll find a following. It depends on what you want to be. What's your voice? You know.
I think my opinion, my two favorites was Robin Williams and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Those
Good
two
choices.
made me laugh. They made me laugh like really. I thought they were brilliant.
They were
Especially Robin Williams. You couldn't. He was like a machine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You couldn't stop him. It was like,
he's very, very, very smart.
Yeah, he was
But
one
I'll
of
tell
a
you,
kind, yeah.
as far as in this area, hey, I'm sorry, fella. Well, I'm not sorry at all. Actually, the most intelligent comic in this this area is sitting right there.
nobody even close. And that's
Why my
Nobody.
father called me dummy.
Imagine that.
I said that to Don Rickles. I met Don Rickles in L.A. And I went away. He says, "You're one of the reasons my father called me dummy." He said, "My father called me dummy." Honest to God, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the truth. I mean, your comic stuff is well thought out. It's
on a different level.
It's totally different level than a lot of the guys that they do. I mean, the last show I went to see you.
Oh, we had fun.
It was a good day.
I got a lot of new stuff too. I got some good shows
That's
coming
the
up.
thing. He's always creating.
Right.
Oh,
and that's
You know
the
what?
game.
That makes it keeps it fresh for me.
Yeah, but
And-
not everybody
and-
does it, Paul. You know as well as I do. We can mention a million different names that don't do what you do.
No, the woman at the cut said, "Can I advertise it's an all new show?" I said, "No, no comedian in the country writes an hour new show every year." I said,
Right.
"What I do, I got a big chunk of all new stuff, but I also bring back old stuff. People certain things people want to hear again,
Well, how many
and
days
everything.
a
But I
week?
always mix it up.
How many days a week do you write?
Writing is, I think creativity is, you can't force it. It comes and goes. Sometimes you're on a, it's like sometimes you're on a roll and you got to take advantage of it. All ideas are just, I can't
you up
keep
late
up.
at night
Right,
sometimes?
yeah, sometimes and stuff. And then, but I work at every comedian I've ever worked at said had no idea how much time and how do
You
I
can
said
see
I
it.
said how good you want to be. How good.
But you can see the difference, Paul, when it comes to you on somebody else, not anybody specific. But you could it's just night and day, So that's why you're known as like you are.
Well, you have a passion for it. I was a great lawyer, but guess what? I don't think I had the passion I have for this.
Well,
I was a great lawyer, but I couldn't have, I probably wouldn't be the best lawyer.
But your
because I
attorney
didn't have the
mind-
same. I didn't have the same passion for the same.
Yeah.
you
And
know,
it's not easy to be funny if you
Stand-up is the
if
toughest
you're
business in the
writing,
world.
If you're writing, man, you can write bit after bit after bit after bit, and it takes a long time to get it right. To like certain phrases.
When I was in LA, some executive, some big show, I don't even know who it was, came up to me and he complimented my show, and he said I had to do for an acting class a stand-up thing, and everybody told me in Hollywood that stand-up was the hardest single thing in entertainment to do because you're up there all alone. He says, "Do you think that's true?" I said, "Do you think it's the hardest thing?" I said, "It's not hard to suck at it." I said, "You know what? A guy who does 2 open mics and George Carlin both call himself a comedian." And I said, how good? That's what I say to these comedians. They say, well, "You wrote a joke. What do you think of the joke?" "I think it's a good joke." I said, "Why don't you want it to be a great joke?" "Oh, I never thought of that." Yeah, that the rewriting everything. That's as critical as coming up with the original
That's
idea.
why Carson was so impressive. Every night he did. I mean, it's only a 10-minute monologue, I understand, but still the delivery.
Oh,
every
yeah.
night.
Yeah,
even though he didn't write his own jokes, it's just the presentation. He was the best when it came to presentation.
Yeah,
Best
absolutely.
I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and it was polished. He was so.
Even when he
polished.
was bombing,
He was polished.
He was funny.
get a laugh out of it.
You
Yeah,
get a laugh out of it. He would
He
turn it
was-
around and make it happen, make it work. He was
So-
really great.
that's what people say now. Is what's a good? If it's a great crowd, a great situation, you have a great show. I don't feel it's a great accomplishment. That's what I expect to do. But
Right.
if you can take a bad situation and make it into a good situation, that's
I think one of the another really difficult thing is if you do 2 shows in a day. Some of these, I mean, these the old guys like Martin and Lewis and all those guys, they were doing 5 and 7 shows a day. But if you do an hour and a half or 50, say an hour, 50 minutes is what you normally do, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
45, 50, yeah.
45,
typical.
50,
That's
you know,
the most typical.
and you're doing a corporate show. You first of all you got to drive wherever you had to go. So now you
Oh,
took
I
all
tell
that
people
time.
they pay me to drive, not to do the show. That's the fun part.
Yeah. So you get there, you do your show, and then you got to drive all the way back, and now you got to do another show.
I used to hate
somewhere
doubling
else.
up doing things, and you're running from one place.
Remember we
to
did that?
Well, let me tell you,
that's how you got body slammed.
In
that
Nick's
night.
in Boston, there were 2 occasions where I did 2 or 3 occasions. I did 5 shows in one night. 3 in the main showroom, all sold out. 1 in the theater downstairs, and 1 for the people waiting for the theater. The Kowloon, when Nick's ran the Kowloon for a while, when comedy was like really,
banging.
I caught the tail end of the big comedy boom. We did 4 shows on Saturday night, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And at 7 o'clock, the opening act would get off the stage from the first show. Thank you. He'd go to the next stage, start that show up, and you just go back and forth each night. Then it's not so bad because you're in the same place, you know. But how many times I was sweating like
What
trying
year
to get
did
to
you
another
start,
show.
Paul? If you caught the tail end?
I started in 1985, and I did maybe about a little over a dozen open mics and stuff, and then I quit because my parents were on my back. But I kept writing and stuff like that, and then I got to take a job in Boston, and I was ready to take a job in Boston, and I didn't want to take it, and I bought a car I couldn't afford it. This will force me to take it. I was only making $18,000 a year at the DA's office. My bar tab was bigger than my income, and I panicked. Instead of taking a job with these 2 firms that offered me one in Boston, I called up Mike Clark and Barry Katz, who produced Last Comic Standing, and I lied. I go, I've been to these clubs in New York. I'm reading off a list. I want an audition. Come down to so-and-so club. I had my guitar with me in those days. And right from that, get your book out, your headlining. And I was doing sometimes like 15 shows in 10 nights back in those days. I was working almost every night. I don't work, I'm more selective now. And it's not a club business where you work every night.
Did you work the place in Cambridge for Jeff Katz and Ron Sava?
Up in Andover?
That was Grill 93. Then they had a place in Cambridge.
Oh, the Aku. At the Aku, yeah.
I used to sing in their lounge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
The
back in the
Aku.
90s.
And there was an Aku
And I
in
did it.
Worcester, too. I used to do that show.
That was their place too.
Yeah. Yeah.
They used to play the good cop. They used to play the good cop, bad cop. Those two. Remember those two? The Sava and Katz, Jeff Katz and
Jeff Katz. Yeah, Jeff.
and Ron Sava. That
Yeah.
was his partner.
No, on a different note, I want to turn your attention to the thing hanging on the wall over there.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? That's a very select group.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted to bring that up because I really wanted to thank you for that, and I'm honored to be part of that select group.
That
and
is-
Joey as well. You know,
I thank God because for the ability to be able to honor the people that are most important in my life. I was so blessed that I've done, I think, 31 of those.
That's
And,
it?
I mean,
Really?
that's
We're in a
it.
select group.
you
That's
you
it.
thought he was wondering.
I think
he's trying to
7 or
figure
8 of
that
them are
out.
deceased too. My dad,
Really?
my uncle, Mike
So you
Cataldo.
only did 30 something?
Yeah, like 31 of those things, and
Wow. I
but
would've
these
said
are all
75, 80.
people I've known 30, 40, the most important people in my life, and just 2 of those are one's my dad, my uncle, my 2 brothers, so there's 4 there, so there's really like 20 plus friends, and that's it. But these are people. You guys are lifelong friends.
The first
you know?
time I met Paul was '94. He was with Fab and that girl, Kelly.
Yes.
And I said, I remember Fab said, "Where you playing tonight?" I was just starting with the show. I go, "I'm gonna be at Capone's tonight." She goes,
Yeah, it's Capone's.
I'm gonna be coming with some kid. He's a comedian. Paul, who's he? I didn't know
Yeah.
who he was. Then we worked together a few years later.
But if you explain what this thing is and what Billy's talking about, I was on a boat with my friend Doogie, and we were drinking and stuff like that. And he used to drink Miller Lights like he could drink like a 30 pack and look the same at the beginning and the end. And I go, I don't know where you put it. You know, he was in his 70s at the time and everything. And I said, you know what? I was looking at a coat of arms. You know, like the old coat of arms, they have lions and wheat and all these little symbols and stuff. And I said, it's just got all these things that it's very vague. You know, I don't understand what the symbolism is until you read about it. And the wheat portrays the fact that the family owned the farm or something, and the lion is the bravery of the. I go, I'm more literal than that. I says, like, if I did a coat of arms for you, it would have a Miller Lite logo. I started doing a coat of arms on a napkin that summed up his life. He was a scuba diver. He was a mushroom expert. He was a photographer. His garden won blue ribbons, and I put all that into a coat of arms, and it's like a modern coat of arms to honor, like the one I did for you and Billy. Yep. All the things, Joey, and I get the input.
Take it off the wall.
I get the input. I get the input from.
I can't turn the cameras to
from
do
the
that.
people, and I find out what are the most important things to you. And
there's a lot of detail. There's a lot of detail in this, and I just want Joey to show you here.
But it's an honor for me to honor you, if that makes sense.
And I appreciate
that I'm able to do to show this how much I love you, because these things take a lot of time. You know, that's a lot of work.
That's what I was. The detail in it is absolutely amazing, and it does.
But that's you in a nutshell, right there.
Yes,
that's pretty much like
yeah.
everything. So what's in there?
Except the weights now. You can make me fat now.
And I didn't have room.
Yeah. So
what's some of the things that Joey turned out just a little?
It's from Revere. It's the clock. The
the Italian
church.
flag, the church, the drum, your drummer, the microphone symbolizing your singing, Sinatra, your favorite Dean Martin. What's the gymnastic thing?
That's
right. That's right.
I was the captain of the gymnastic team in high school. I was graduated in the disco era, and that was my favorite time in my life.
Yeah.
You know, the Godfather, that says it all. Has my girls, all my daughters' names on there. Of course, being a Patriots fan. The one that looks like a Patriot is the company that I work for. It's Minuteman Security.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, it tells you, it's everything in the detail in it. Like, again, it takes a long time. That's a lot of work right there. That's a ton of work.
Yeah, and Joey's is just a meatball and a barbell. That's all.
I love meatballs.
Yeah. So thank you.
Spectacular. I wanted myself to have this.
No, you guys are special to me. So.
I appreciate it, and the best part of it all is that's nothing compared to what he's actually done with his artwork. His artwork is. You got to go on and his writing, authoring the books that he's written. I mean, Paulie,
I need something new. I need something new to fail at, though. I need to get a new project or something. I always need a sense of false hope.
Write a screenplay.
I did a sitcom with the late Bob Seibel, Patty Ross, who's very sick. Who go to Patty Ross's GoFundMe page and help her.
I have that. What was the name of the sitcom?
A Fine Mess.
Fine Mess.
And Patty and I were a married couple. I was like a guru, like a Dr. Phil, and Patty was my wife. But we were married. We were high school sweethearts, but now we hate each other. But everybody thinks we get the perfect marriage, and that's why I sell so many of these relationship books. And so we get drunk, we get divorced out in Mexico, and we realize, oh my God, Patty won't be able to spend all my money, and I'm going to lose all my following and everything. So we stay together in the same house. Even though we hate each other. And next door is Bob Seibel, who's a divorce lawyer. And he's like Gladys Kravitz because he sees us. That guy's ruining my divorce business. So I had 4 production companies in Los Angeles that were interested in as a sitcom. And I flew out to L.A. I had meetings the same month reality TV hit. And they said, oh, we got this new thing, reality. It doesn't cost us anything. We're putting all the sitcoms on hold right now. And I go, well, what about this? And they go, no. And that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. What about trying to sell it now?
It wouldn't be the same without those people. You know, the characters that were in there. Patty's struggling. She's been bedridden for like 3 or 4 years.
She wasn't at the fundraiser, right?
No, she couldn't make it.
No.
I did. I raised money at a fundraiser for raffle off some of my paintings. Started a GoFundMe page for her, but she still needs funds because she's really getting no means of income, and she's not really getting
She's a
any
funny
better.
lady.
Yeah, she was amazing at her peak and stuff, and was like a sister to me, you know. So we stay in touch. I'll tell her you guys said hi, but
Yeah, please do.
if anybody wants to give us some money.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. What? Say that again. Where the GoFundMe is?
It's Patty. I don't know what it's called. Patty Ross. I think maybe if you just search Patty Ross.
It's on Facebook.
It's on the GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Okay.
Yeah.
On GoFundMe. Yes. Yes. So do that, guys. Get on there.
Yeah.
and-
She's got no means of income, and she's got to pay for people to help her out and stuff. So
It's
Yeah.
aging is not for the weak. That's what everybody's been
I'm
telling
thinking.
me.
I'm thinking of bringing back this week Suck World.
And
And I got a new thing.
Yeah.
I got a new thing where a kid, he goes, "We're going to Tomorrowland, so look into the future." He goes, "What do you think of that ride?" "I hate it. I'm dizzy. My everything hurts. I'm tired, and I think I peed my pants a little." I go, "Oh, that's geriatric junction." I go, "That's what you're gonna feel like every day if you're lucky. If you're lucky."
No kidding. You know, it's funny. It doesn't. I was talking to. I have physical therapy. So I'm having problems with my shoulder, but in my neck. So he said to me, "So it's really funny." He says, "When you get old," he says, "the aches and pains, they don't come like one at a time. So you can you deal with that one, and the next one comes. You deal with that one. It's not how it happens. Bang, all at once.
Man.
The knees, the shoulders, the hands, the this. It's aggravating."
I limp
So-
when someone hurts my feelings.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I'm telling you. You know, I got to tell you guys, we're having so much fun here. We've already done an hour and 16 minutes
Oh, really? Okay.
already.
I love you
We
guys.
don't usually go over an hour.
You know, it's just comfortable.
This is why we have such a good time when we get together, isn't it?
It's the truth.
This
It's the
guy
best.
This guy makes me laugh.
Yeah.
He makes me laugh more than the comedians.
I'm the-
Being serious. He doesn't realize it's funny till I start laughing.
Oh, what
My
happened?
favorite was the thing. Oh, Billy, you were there that night at Luna Rosa when I says it's all in the effects here. Because he brings me up.
Yeah.
It's all in the effects. He says he doesn't have a good voice. I said, well, he puts the effects. Everybody loves somebody sometime. He said, you take the effects off. He turns to Jerry. Everybody falls in love sometimes.
I remember that. Bass. I had that live on.
so true.
I was going live that night. But anyways, we want to thank you, Paul, for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
It's a
I love you
pleasure,
guys.
to have you anytime.
That's
you
why I
want
have Johnny tied up in my closet.
I don't
Couldn't
know.
make
He's
it
probably
tonight.
tied up somewhere.
Where is he? He out of town?
He won't tell anybody. I don't know. He says he was going. I forget where he went. Did he tell you where he was going, Billy?
He did not tell me where he was going
He just
at
disappears.
all.
He disappears for 4. He's like a cat. He
Yeah.
disappears for a
Well,
week.
you know what? I live right down the street, kinda. So if you guys ever need me, let me know.
Well, you'll be hearing from us, no question about it, because Johnny does. We actually told him. I said, Johnny, he works a lot. He's traveling. All
Oh,
the time.
yeah.
I said, Johnny, in the meantime, we have to have a replacement. He goes, do what you got to do, because there might be a night that I can't be here, and Johnny, you can replace me. So it's nice to know, especially since you're right up the street.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap for tonight.
That's a wrap. But listen, guys, we want you to share this as much as you can. Get on YouTube, subscribe to it, and let's make this podcast happen. I mean, you can see we have a blast, and I'm entertained. I'm just sitting back here. Yeah, I'm pushing all the buttons and making everything happen. But it's just a blast. It's a blast, and I hope you guys can get involved, get subscribed, and share it on Facebook. Share the YouTube address and subscribe on YouTube. We really want you to enjoy this podcast as much as you can. So God bless you guys. Straight Up Talk Boston. Enjoy. God bless. And we'll see you next week.
Good night. That's too much fun. That's too much fun. with
Yeah,
you
you know
guys.
the funny thing is, Paul. It's like when Johnny's here.